We'll do a bow then. Ready? In 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Ooh.
Hello! And that was quite a well-timed bow. I'll have to give you a round of applause for that one, James. How are we doing? Welcome to another episode of Tea Time with me, Meoni. I'm joined by my good friend, James. How you doing, James?
I'm good. You?
I'm all right. I'm kind of like slowly baking every single day that goes by. The humidity's been like, I don't know, it was like 89% humidity last night. Something
Yeah, it was
redonkulous.
warm.
It was very warm. The UK is it's just humidity. You know, heat I can deal with. Humidity, yeah, no thanks, basically.
Yeah, even when it's been raining and it's been boiling and raining.
The boiling rain, that sounds like your next album title.
Wait,
No,
I
we
had to have a first album yet.
soon. Right then, so on to the topic of Final Fantasy XIV. What have you been doing in game, if at all, anything, apart from studying lately outside of it?
I've been grinding relics outside of Bosnia.
Yee. How's that going for you?
I'm doing all right. Doing it every now and again.
So what stage is your
Well,
Black Mage weapon up to? Because we know that's your main.
I'm doing the level 60, 70, 80 duties,
Ugh,
normal duties. So I
disgusting.
need to get the memories, the books, and then the spring and the axle.
Oh, oh well, you're further ahead than I expect you to be, actually. I thought you were still like on, bitter memory stage or something. Like the old
No, I finished already. I said in the new stage.
sending a new stage.
Well, I'm not that far
I
behind.
thought you were miles behind, James. I was like, where is he? Come on, you
No,
speed up.
I just got a few more. Well, quite a few more normal range to run. Since I need 180
100.
altogether.
Wait, what? Why'd you need
You need
180?
you need 30 of each thing.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. That really is quite painful doing it that way. So, what? First question. Okay, 5.55 came out. You went straight into doing this stuff. What's your impressions of Zadnor? Is it that good for you? Okay.
I haven't even been in there.
Really? Don't you have to do it for the
Nope.
quest?
Nope.
Oh.
You can unlock it outside.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as it's unlocked, you can do the relic for outside. You don't actually have to enter Zadnor.
Ah, so you literally have not put boots on the ground in Zadnor at all.
Nope.
You've not done a single whiff of a critical engagement or a skirmish or Dalriada. You're not.
Nope.
Do you have interest in Zadnor?
Not at the moment, no.
Do you plan to do Zadnor at some point?
No.
You're not interested in Dalriada then?
Not particularly.
Wow.
Uh...
These are different opinions. I like this. People are going to be like, yeah, I feel him. Yeah, I feel him. But a lot of people in the comments are going to be like, congratulations on doing a relic without going into Zadnor. That sounds like potato.
Well, it's just I'm just spamming normal raid roulette. It helps out people doing the raid roulette, and I just get random stuff.
Oh,
And then of course,
how
then when I
philanthropic of
hit,
you.
yeah,
Let's help
well,
other people out. Totally not doing it for my own gain.
yeah, as long as they're competent, we're fine.
As long as they're competent. Okay, okay. That's maybe you have different experiences. Mileage may vary, but I'm sure you've had a few moments where you're like, "Why?" I think we all
Yeah,
get
well,
those.
once I hit 30 of one, then I've got to start targeting stuff. And
Stuff
actually, Qf is well, go actually, yeah, because
and things. Stuff and things.
yeah. However, I have a count.
Ah, dear.
20, 38, 47, 56 so far. So I've only got like 130 to go.
Only 130. What? And that's normal raid roulettes. Is that?
Yeah,
130.
Yeah, so you get the spring and the axle from Alexander, normal raids. You get the books from Omega, And then you get the memories from Eden normals.
Yeah.
Depending on which ones you do,
So
you get different ones.
once you've done those stages, you'll be on the 15 memory thingies that I'm on. That you get like 2 at a time through Delibram Regine. You get 1 randomly in 70. Well, you get 1 guaranteed in 70 dungeons, and you get 3 that drop at a time in Dalriada. What's your go-to method that you're going to employ for that?
Trusts.
Trusts.
You get 1 from a 70s dungeon.
There is no level 70 trust dungeon. Wait.
Oh shit, 70, isn't it?
It's 71, dude. The first...
Oh, is it actually only level 70?
Yeah, it's level 70 dungeons.
Yeah, sure, that goes
No.
level 70 to level...
No.
Oh, that's a
Whole Minster Switch is level 71. It's out of range.
That's a ball ache, that is.
We found a slight weakness in your plan, and that weakness is that you were a fool, sir.
Oh, so basically we could just run Alamigo.
Yeah, basically, you can do Alamigo. A lot of people are saying that they run like the Burn and...
Or Fractal, yeah.
Or Fractal, yeah. Those are pretty quick, I think. If you're trying to get like a speed weapon, I think that's most of the ways people are employing, but then the rest of us are just like, yeah, okay, we're doing more than 1 weapon. Sign me up for Delibram Regine. Yeah. I need to do... You've got to do 130 runs of that. I've got to do 153, I think it is, left of Delibram Regines. But that will complete every single weapon to the absolute final stage. So...
And then you'll never use them.
True, but if in the future people are like, oh, Meoni, do you have a monk? And I'll be like, yeah, I don't play it, but I have this. You know, and then they'll be like, you don't play it, but you've got that. I'll be like, yes. You like it, don't you? You like it, it's shiny.
Yeah, until Endwalker, and then you do it all over again with a new one.
Yeah, well, hopefully the one in Endwalker looks a little bit, well, more awesome. These have got a bit of bad press for the most part because it looks like fruit pastels or sweets or candy is stuck to the side of weapons. That's not true across the board, but we know that Summoner got shafted. They basically got the Walmart logo for $1. I'm actually quite partial to the Bard one, weirdly enough. But I don't know why. I shouldn't be interested in the Bard one because of, well, it's pretty garish, but it's not bad. The Machinist one can go straight to Hades, though. That thing is just disgusting, in my opinion, again. It's funny how we have to keep saying in my opinion these days, isn't it? I remember you used to be able to do a video on the internet without having to make that clear. But, you know, people are people. So in your opinion, James, what do you think of the final weapon lookalikes? And does anything really tickle your fancy?
I don't know. I think I like the previous Black Mage one better than the new one. But
I'm glad you said that, because the Augmented Laws Order, which is the completed Delibram one, is probably across the board one of my favourite Relic designs.
Have they actually implemented the replica versions yet?
Yes, you can go and buy the replicas over there in the corner.
Thank God for that. They need to change it so you could put the relic weapons in the armory as a chest or something.
This is true. That would make sense, but this is Square Enix. So.
Well, it's such a ball. Like, you get this really cool weapon, relic, and it's like, yeah, and you're like, but my one's better. I'll glamour it. Oh, wait, now I've got to literally put it on every glamour plate or take all the weapons off the glamour plates.
Well, I'm glad that you've got glamour storage to actually place this stuff in, because I certainly don't. You know, 144 slots is... Get better glamour as well. Rude. 144 slots is like... not even remotely a third or maybe a tenth of what I need, actually. You know, there's just... Especially if they add more costumes to the cash shop, I'm just like, where am I supposed to put these items? Yeah. Because I get stuff to make preview videos. The people don't understand, it's like, I don't necessarily like everything I buy. I buy it so that people don't have to spend their own money. It's kind of like, people through Patreon, etc., are giving me money. I then invest that into videos, and this is one of the ways we
so,
do that.
so the Patreons pay, so you don't have to.
Yeah, well, yeah, to some degree, yeah. Shout out to the Patreons; those guys are awesome, and honestly, I don't do enough for them. However, that will be changing. I am going to be
Ooh.
doing an entire YouTube series dedicated to them and them alone. Yes, I
Ooh.
have some fun stuff up the works, and yeah,
Is it on Insects of Eorzea?
Insects of Eorzea. That would be an amazing documentary. You know how many episodes that would have? Probably 2, because it's like 2 insects in the entire game. I don't think birds count, do they? No.
I don't think birds are insects. No.
Well, in Eorzea, anything's an insect, right? Are we going to this whole like anything's a horse if you will it enough? Oh, dear.
So what? So what? So is it like a whole series of you robbing Paro?
What of insects?
Just randomly robbing him because he's got too much money.
Just do a highway video, a highwayman thing. That would be pretty funny. My dog's going crazy outside for some reason. That's wonderful timing. Excellent timing. And I am quite annoyed. But there we go. I can't control the universe and I can't shut my window because it is roasting. So enjoy the fact that you can hear the dogs in the background.
Oh, you could close your window, then you could have boiled Mio for lunch.
Yeah, I could literally like overheat everything in here and just set a fire to my desk. Yeah, that sounds like a great plan. It is.
Oh, that's
dripping.
as long as you got as long as you got marshmallows, it doesn't matter if there's a fire.
Ah, dear. Anyway, back to the relics.
Yeah.
So, apart from Black Mage, do you have an interest in any other weapon? Do you think you'll go for another one, or
No?
no? So you just want
Nah.
your Black Mage weapon because that's your baby,
Yes, pretty
basically. Yeah. Okay. In your opinion, which is the ugliest? I know you've seen them.
much. It's got to be Summoner, right?
I mean,
Always
it's just. I think Summoner is less ugly and more just confusion. Honestly, at the end of the day, I look at it and I'm like, why? It's more of a why book than a ugh. It's a why, disappointment. Yeah. There's quite a few. I still think that the Dragoon weapon was better at augmented Law's Order, and many of them were. The only one I think has really improved massively, not biased at all, by the way, not biased at all, but I think that the one that's improved the most is White Mage.
Really?
Yeah, because it's bush, awful looking weapon, then turns into better looking twig with like what do you call it? Fairy lights that you put around a Christmas tree. It looks like that. It's actually quite good. I was like, oh, you know what? That's not bad. I mean, is it the best relic weapon in the game? No. No. The best relic weapon in the game for White Mage is this one, Nirvana. Again, not biased at all. But, and Tyrus. Like the other stage, Tyrus, like the non-glowy version of this before it turns into a tree. There's a huge tree theme going on. People are like, White Mages, why would they get a tree? We've had trees before. Look at this. This is basically a burning bush. There's your slightly burnt rod. Put that away.
Yeah.
It'll put someone's eye out with that.
See, that's the better one.
Oof. Direct polar opposites, Black Mage versus White Mage. There will be no winner there. But
I don't know, I got fire.
Yeah, but I can blind you with Holy Spam. Who needs eyes when you're a Black Mage anyway, right? You don't need to see that mechanic.
What are you on about? Didn't you know the less you see, the more damage you do as Black Mage?
Oh, is that right? So if I put
have you not noticed every single Black Mage hat has eye patches and stuff.
So if we put a blindfold on you, would that increase your DPS in our static?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to remember that. James's new routine in our static. Yep. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to put my blindfold on. We really are doing this run blindfolded. Yeah, literally. Yeah, I'm sure that would last 5 minutes. Can you imagine E8S blindfolded?
Oof.
Actually, you could probably do the timings. It's just like rampant. I think you could do everything but that, actually.
No.
Yeah.
Worms Lament. You'd never get through Worms Lament.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe something easy, like, I don't know, let's go back.
Do you all have a, yeah, I'm just going to have a crack at which timer I got.
Let's just go back in time and go and do Savage, like, Catastrophe or something. That's very predictable, that fight.
Oh, dear God.
That brings back
the amount of time we spent on that.
Yeah, it's almost as much as we spent on
Guardian.
Yeah. Guardian, yeah. Ugh. Don't mention that ever again. Ugh. Send that boss straight away. But yeah. So 5.55, I mean, we got Zadnor that you don't want to do, and you're not doing. In 5.55, we got, like, Dalriada that you don't want to do. In 5.55, we got relic weapons, which you're doing in the most ridiculous way possible, the longest way possible, probably. You just don't want to deal with people, do you? In field instances, do you? Is that what it comes down to?
Well,
what's the major thing that turns you off when you see Zadnor?
I can just queue and do other stuff.
So is it time-based?
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck in an instance for ages, do you?
I mean, I can literally... Know, James.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I do it on Gunbreakers, so it's insta-queue. It's not like I'm sitting around.
I thought you were trying to do it as Black Mage. I was like, ooh, hats off to you.
Oh, God, no. No, so it's an insta-queue, queue.
Q.
Rather than having to wait for stuff to pop up on Zadnor. It just keeps you busier.
To be fair, everything's okay in Zadnor up until the 3rd zone, and then those critical engagements that you need for the pink gems that I can't remember the name of, that I just finished a while ago.
Yeah.
Those critical engagements, they don't exist. They're just like, oh yeah, where's the next critical engagement? I don't know, in a fortnight? I don't know. Like,
yeah. Also, the zones are locked, aren't they? You have to go through the story and stuff in there.
Yeah, but it's incredibly quick. Like, the leveling up process is ridiculous. Like, the first fate that you do gives you something like 200 or 300,000 XP, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I'm still at rank 10.
Yeah, you can go in there at rank 10, and you'll be rank 25 in 6 hours. Easily 6 hours.
And in 6 hours, I could complete the relic.
Oh, I mean 6 hours of just standing around doing nothing, basically. You know, or you could probably do it in 4 hours. I don't know if anybody's tried to speed run metal ranks. It just seems ridiculously easy.
Yeah, but in that time, I could have basically completed the relic. To be fair, I think I've only been doing like half an hour here and there.
Have you not been, inspired by my valiant effort to, maybe try a hand at field notes? You not been interesting?
Yeah, I think I would rather uninstall the game.
Really? You feel that strongly? You don't like field notes?
Yeah. How about you ask Father Fenway?
Father Fenway has a problem with drop rates, okay? That's his thing. That's a Fenway problem, not necessarily a James problem. Oh dear. Shout out to Father Fenway, one of our friends.
Yeah. Who's, as far as I'm aware, is still grinding, right?
I don't know. I linked the fact that I got the Leon note again in chat, and I had to discard it, and he said he's going to throw a crocodile at me, so I'm guessing so.
Yeah. I think it's been, 2 weeks for him now?
Yeah, it took me, what did I say originally? About 12 days to get them all. Yeah. So I think he's gone a bit further than that now. But Yeah, a lot of people have got really bad luck, and the drop rates on field notes does seem to be really ridiculous. And many people say, oh, well, why don't you just do the 1v1s? Yeah, because not everybody has every single lost action that's required, has the interest to either grind out those things, oh, they can go from specific mobs, it's easy, Meoni, or to go to a market board and spend gil, oh, but they're cheap, Meoni, you know what I mean? Like, this is the territory we get towards. There's always someone who will say, it's easy to do the 1v1s, we can cheese them. And yes, you're correct with like 4 things, but I don't know, go and ask some of the other members of the community that it's not just a simple case of showing up and going, oh, look, I'm cheesing this now. It's more of a fact that, oh, I've got to invest either time or B, money into this, gil. So, the 1v1s for most people aren't really going to be touched, which is why a lot of us went into Castrum Lacus Litore and Dalriada eventually, and when it worked against those horrible drop rates. The plus side of that is you're working on other stuff at the same time, but it's not as valuable as you think it would be. Like the lockboxes, unless you have like insane luck on that, farming endless amounts of the same thing isn't actually that beneficial to you, because you're not going to be farming every single fate in the area, okay? If you're after one fate in a zone, you're not going to be doing that. You're going to be camping the area because of how quickly those skirmishes end, right? People swarm out of nowhere and it's dead. And you're like, oh God, why? Now, it was confirmed recently, actually, and this, I don't know if people watching this know, but you can actually get field notes off of silver completion. I didn't know that before. I was always complaining when I didn't get gold, but apparently if you get at least silver completion, you do have a chance to get a note. There was some screenshots on Reddit. I was like, oh, that's cool to know. But it's still sometimes very tricky to get across there, and then you've got to get your clusters to purchase the riding maps. Otherwise, you can use the SDS Fenrir, that actually the movement speed increase works inside those areas as well, which is why a lot of people use that before they get the riding notes. There's little tips here and there, but overall, you're still going to be farming and camping that one particular skirmish, or trying to spawn that skirmish. Or if you're in Dalriada or Castrum, there's nothing beneficial to you. I don't think you really... I don't remember getting any lockboxes from that. I really don't remember getting lockboxes from all of the times I ran those instances. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but it was just it was a what do you call it? Fragments and music scrolls and field notes of people I didn't need. So, yeah, there really isn't that much to make from that, unless you're farming those particular. Unless you're like just starting right now. If you're starting right now on field notes and you're going for all of them, then you're going to make a lot of gil, because the amount of fates that you're going to have to do, and some of these things aren't even done anymore because they require certain mobs to be killed to spawn. Like there are several on the bottom section of the Bosnian Southern Front that don't spawn unless you kill certain mobs repeatedly, and then that triggers a spawn of that one. And then sometimes there's ones that require you to kill mobs, spawn a fate, kill that fate, then kill the fate after that, and then a critical engagement or something like that. You know what I mean? Like there's a chain of events, and then there's an internal timer that's hidden on some of these, an hour here, 30 minutes there, Then you've got the more fates that you do in the area, the faster that the timer runs out on being able to do Castrum Lacus Litore again. And then you've got the fact that I had, where you queue into Castrum, you're like, yeah, I can go and do this. And then you check the map and you're like, no, I missed out on my chance from that one that I've been farming for an hour and a half or 3 hours in some of the cases. So it's turmoil and it's pain. So it's not like leisurable creation of gil, you know what I mean? Like, it's pitiful, the stuff you get from the lockboxes, unless, like I say, you have the Midas touch or something. I don't know anybody really. Oh, Meoni, actually, I got 3 hairstyles and a mount. Good for you. but that doesn't represent the norm at all. That you need to go and stop playing the game, and you need to go down to your local 7-Eleven or whatever it is, or if you're in the UK, go down to your local shop, your Premier or something, and get yourself a lottery ticket or a lotto ticket. You need a scratch card or something, because if you've got that much luck in this game, then hopefully you can win some in real life. Speaking of which, if you do, you know where to send those donations. I could do with some money. I'm trying to save for a house at the moment. It's pain and suffering. Dear, housing market. But if you win the lottery, just remember your old pal Meoni on YouTube, okay? Dear. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No questions asked. Where did this money come from? Oh, it fell off the back of a lorry. Oh, okay. Yeah. Literally. Oof. But 5.55 was, I think, a successful patch in that it provided exactly what it needed to for people seeking the completion of resistance steps. My question to you, however, is, do you find, even though you're doing it the long way, do you find that this last section of a resistance weapon is hard? Do you feel that this is painful? And what would you change, if at all, anything? And what do you say to the people? What's your feedback to people who say that it's too hard?
Hard.
You think it's hard?
No.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say it's hard. But...
That's a bit of a question. I mean, this last stage is just grinding.
Right.
I'm not sure what's hard about it.
I think people are more not necessarily saying it's a difficult objective, but a lot of people have actually stated, including comments previously that I've had on videos, saying there's no way I'm grinding that out. That's too much. When I wanted a grind, I didn't expect it to be this long. And it makes me wonder, though, if they've done the previous weapons at all, or attempted some of them, because at least in my opinion, I felt like the Realm Reborn weapon is more suffering than this.
Oh, them books.
The books, man. The books. Oh, sorry, what's that? You've got to go to Eastern Fanalan whatever Fanalan it is, where there's the Sagoli Desert. Find this one archer, kill the archer, but guess what? That's not the right archer, even though he's got the same name, but he is like a 50 bajillion year respawn timer. And then you do that, and then you do that entire book, and then you turn out for the next book, you have to go back to the desert and fight the other archer that's not there now.
Oh, and the fates in the Kobold area, which spawns like once every 4 hours.
Oh, the Oguro mines.
Yeah. Waiting around for them things for hours and hours.
I think.
But the thing is,
yeah,
they say it's long, but long is subjective. I mean, you've got 4 months?
About 5, round up to 5.
5 months? About 4 or 5 months until Endwalker. Gives you something to do. If you could complete it in 2 days, then it's not exactly a grind, and then what are you going to do?
I mean, people did complete it within the first day and a half, so...
Yeah.
I mean, those are the people that are like, I need this now, which is fine.
Yeah.
Hats off to those people. Go for it. But, I don't know, maybe just people were put off by the idea of they've already done, their 15 runs of Delabrum or whatever. Maybe they were fed up by the Void Arc stage, and then they saw the fact that you had to do, this, and this, 30 of each of these things, and it seemed very daunting. One of the pieces of misinformation that's been making the rounds is that people seem to be under the impression that you have to do this repeatedly for every weapon you do, which is absolutely a fallacy. You have to, it's a one-time only quest. These 3 quests are. So you get 30 axles and 30 springs, or whatever it is. You get 30 this book, 30 of that book, 30 of this crystal, 30 of that crystal. Once you've done that crap, either through Zadnor or dungeons as you're doing it.
Or a mixture of both, actually, to keep it fresh.
I did mix it up a little bit because I did it on stream. I was just like, who wants to do Omega? We mixed it up a little bit. That way it wasn't quite as painful. But once I handed those in, if that was a repeatable, if I had to do those 3 quests and the final 15 extra, whatever they're called, I can't remember what they're called now. Like weird crystals, blue crystals they are, like blue spiky crystals. Then I probably would have moaned myself. But the fact it's one time, and then, you know, you just have to do DR or 70 dungeons or, you know, Dal Riada, which they're trying to pump people into, obviously, since they give 3 at a time. It's not that bad. Now, time investment in this game is something that I think is a big illusion, where, you know, people seem to think this stuff is like compulsory or something. Some people have got the opinion that Yoshi P says one thing and does another. Personally, I think that's complete crap, because there's nothing about this optional weapon that has very good stats on it, best in slot stats, in fact, but there's no content to do with it that would benefit from it at all.
Well, no, of course. I mean, to be fair, you could always just get the tombstone weapon and augment it.
Yeah, the tome.
And that's good. The
augmented tome weapons, like, I mean, it was BIS for a lot of people. So
yeah, but I mean, that'll take you through first 5-6 levels of Endwalker easy anyway.
I mean, I don't know. I just think people have got this weird twist in their clothing, you know, this uncomfortable wedgie where they think that this stuff isn't optional, and that, you know, they've said, oh yeah, go play other games, but in reality they think in their head that actually, you know, we do want you to stay here and grind, which just isn't the case. A lot of people I know just aren't bothered with a relic weapon. Will they be penalized by doing so? No, not at all, because you know for a fact that there'll be a level 81 vendor in like Idleshire or something, or level 80 vendor like there was in Kagane that had suddenly higher item level stuff that bridged the gap. I mean, it was like the difference was at 1.3 item level or something, or 3 or 5 item level. Wow, you know, for the first 2 levels of the game.
Yeah, your 530 weapons will take you for the first 5 levels anyway. Then you're just getting out level 85 weapon or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at level 90, you get your job gear anyway. So.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't agree with the idea that this is a difficult resistance weapon, relic weapon. I would, however, say that it has been a lengthy process. But I'm kind of sad that there was no light stage.
Oh, what?
Is that bad? Like, I miss my light stages, you know?
Oh my god, so much time doing light, they've brainwashed you.
I think so, probably. Like, Eureka Pagos used to be the bane of my existence, okay? Now I love it. I want more light. I'm tempted to go back in there and farm light. I don't know.
How about you have to do light rampant constantly to get light for a relic weapon?
As long as you don't have to kill the boss, we're good. Sadly.
Oh no, it's just light rampant over it on a loop.
That wasn't the mechanic I had problems with. It was like everyone else not doing.
Yeah, but of course you got to do it with 8 other people as well.
Why a 9-player raid?
Yeah, 9-player raid.
A 9-player raid. That's news just in.
Yeah, you see one person is actually subbing in for the boss.
What would the other role be? Is that going to be the new support role? Yeah, the boss. No, right, the boss.
Yeah.
Wait, a guy subs in for the boss?
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously, it would be Geralt, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, bloody Rowena. I thought I'd pay it off, but now I've got to stand in.
I think. You see, you see the stand-in is Hoary Boulder.
Oh, good old Hoary Boulder. If it was Geralt, though, I can imagine him pulling a few faces and us looking away from that mechanic on EA-TES when he gets undressed. That's going to be... He's only got... There's only so much left to undress, so... Geralt's junk. Literally, that's the item that would drop.
Savage.
Yeah. Just one item drops when he dies. Geralt's junk.
Just one jewel.
The family jewels, of course.
Yeah. Just one of them, though.
Just one.
You have to complete it multiple times to get the set.
Oh my god. I was going to say there's a mount that drops, but that's a bit NSFW. So, dear, some people in the community would love that particular mount, though. I know they would. Some of the people I've met on my journeys, definitely. Oh dear, 5.55. What a patch. So you're basically doing like nothing that was added in the patch, basically, or at least a different way of doing it. Because I don't
Pretty
know.
much.
There's me grinding my balls off doing my field notes, and then I got my bike, and then I needed to get like more stuff, and I'm doing my resistance weapon, and the only thing I need to go in there now for is to cap metal repeatedly, because I want 10 of everything. Because you know what happens when you get 10 of everything? You get an achievement, a title, right? And you get a medal on screen. A medal.
Oh, you're not like a mentor thing, is it?
No, like on your on your resistance window that shows you your metal, it just turns into a medal. That's the gift. I spent 500 hours in here, and all I got was this lousy bronze medal. Yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. No, it looks like a military medal with like a star. I was like, "Yay, you're a star! Now go get some fresh air." Yeah, dear. I honestly think I'm going to have these 135 or whatever it is runs of DR done before September at this rate.
I like the way you put it. I like the way you go, I'll have it done in 3 months.
Yeah, I think 3 months or 2 months or 3 months is probably very doable. You know, because if you did 135 runs and you divide that by 4 months, how many runs would I have to do a day? There you go. There's the maths question for you.
What are you looking at?
So 135 runs.
Yeah.
Right. To get it done in 4 months or 3 months.
4 months.
Let's go 3 months. How many runs a day would I have to do? There you go.
3 months. If you take a average of 30 days is 90, so that would be what? Well, you could do it 2.
2 months.
Well, you could do it 2 a day, and you'd be what? Over.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you could do it. Works out to just over 1.5 a day in 90 days.
So if I did 4 a day.
So you've got 130. So basically, if you got 135.
Yeah.
So if you did 2 runs a day, that would take you, what is it, 65 days or whatever, 66.
Yes.
So just over 2 months for 2 a day. So if you did 4 a day, you'd be looking around just over 30 days. So
you could complete all of these weapons within 1 month subscription. Okay, that's the plan. This is going to be pain and suffering.
As long as you average just 4 a day.
Yeah, I think my goals after this are going to be a bit loftier, though. I want to get all the dragon mounts.
What about triple triad cards? When are you going for that?
People keep asking me. I don't want to do some of the stuff because people are like, I hate Memoria Miseria. I'm like, yeah, so do I. But I don't know, maybe. It's just a piece of toast at the end of the day.
Piece of toast.
It looks nothing like a triple triad card, right? It's got a red bit on this toast-shaped card. It's a piece of toast. It's jam on toast. It's got no numbers on it. It's just a piece of floating toast. Am I the only one that sees a floating piece of toast?
Yeah, but you've got to do it for a video, right?
You screw off.
Put in the comments if you want to see a video on the triple triad mount.
Same logic. You know that you're going to help me get all the dragon mounts, right? Yeah, there you go. You see, that brought silence to the table.
Wait, you already have most of the dragon mounts.
Yeah, I need 3 thighs.
Yeah,
I need
Hades?
No. I need Seat of Sacrifice, Emerald Weapon, and Diamond Weapon.
So, yeah.
So yeah,
You see, we did a bunch of runs of Emerald and that, but you were always streaming doing
that's
stuff.
because I was doing my streamy thing. Well,
See, let's be honest. City of Sacrifice is easy, and you should have a bunch of tokens from that already.
yeah, maybe a little bit. Not
We've done it.
99
We've done
though.
it.
99's a bit lofty. That's a bit hard to imagine. I don't
Emerald,
have that.
Emerald, we've done at least 30, 40 times.
You guys have, yeah. I think I have like 12 totems.
12.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I can't look right now, but there's not many.
I only have 8, so
All I'm saying is I need your help.
unless I've got them somewhere else.
I need your help, and that needs to be another goal to finish. So
that's fine. We'll drag the FC through the dirt and drag them in there as well.
Yeah. Why? What are we doing today, guys? Oh, you're doing 200 runs of these bosses. What? Yes. We all need mounts.
To be fair, yeah, Diamond's not particularly difficult, is it?
It's not. It's just people and their movement ability. Their ability to move and coordinate. Cough.
I hate that fight, by the way.
I know you do. You're gonna have to play Gunbreaker anyway, because we'll probably need a tank. So
probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't play Black Mage on that fight. Can we just have like a moment of silence for all of the Black Mages when Diamond Weapon Extreme came out? And it's like, really? Can I actually do any DPS? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just when we did it, they decided to stick me on this second platform, so halfway through my opener, I had to move.
Should I get the violin out?
Yeah, tell me about it. But then other than that, it's not too bad on Black Mage, to be fair.
Fair enough.
But apart from the fact is you put your ley lines down and then have to move instantly. Because that's just how the boss works.
Speaking of ley lines, all right, bit of a jump forward, but I want to know, since we're like about 40 minutes through this already, I wanted to talk a bit about Endwalker and what you would like to see for your Black Mage, what abilities you can feasibly see as a reality, and also some things that you would just like to see at some point that probably won't happen. All right? I thought that was a good question to ask you.
The Black Mage is interesting because as it stands, it flows so well. It feels complete already. So, I mean, apart from getting rid of all the dead weight, like, for God's sake, get rid of Blizzard too, please.
What about Scathe?
Scathe needs a rework.
Yeah.
To, do something. I mean, to be fair, remove the mana cost from it, and that's fine.
Change Blizzard while you're at
it. Blizzard one's fine because you need it for lower levels, even though you don't use it anyway. But if you're like low on mana and you're dropping Oki and it's fine, you can use that. Blizzard 2 is just useless. Get rid of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Blizzard 2 is just like, when would you use that?
Level 30, possibly.
For like 5 minutes and then regret it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. It's a
I mean,
weird one.
Scathe take the mana cost, because the fact is, if you use Scathe, you have to drop a Fire 4.
Oh?
Oh, yeah, because we don't have enough MP left over
to
go through the whole
that's why.
to go through the whole rotation without if we use Scathe.
Does it really knock you down like just slightly?
Yes.
Oh my, that's amazing.
If you use Scathe, you've got to drop a Fire 4 or a Despair.
Ouch.
In your rotation. You've got enough MP left over to use Thunder from Thunder 3. But yeah, if you use a Scathe, then you have to drop one or the other. Hence why it's usually better just to not use it.
Yeah, because it messes up your entire rotation.
Well, it's just a DPS loss.
And that is a mess up of your rotation.
Yeah, it's actually less DPS if you don't use. It's actually more DPS if you just don't use it.
It's always fun seeing, Black Mages doing arguably some of the highest DPS in the game. It's fair to say. But do you think that will always be the case, or do you think they will try to homogenize Black Mage? Well, what do you fear most about what they could do to make you unhappy? Is there anything that would make you go, screw this, I'm going summoner, for example?
No.
No?
To be fair, what they get the only way they get the only way Black Mage isn't going to be the highest one of the highest DPS if you start adding utility.
Right.
But
Like
the
rezzes.
problem is if you put a res on Black Mage, it'll be overpowered to hell. You think Red Mage is a good reser. You should see Black Mage with triple cast, swift cast, rezzing with infinite mana every minute.
Yeah, but your swift cast isn't as fast as you need to res half of the time.
Yeah, well, you've also got ley lines.
True. Fair enough.
I can drop my recast timer down to 1.8 seconds on the ley lines with 4
Maybe
instant cast.
maybe they'll give you a res and then they'll like dock your DPS just down by
But then again,
10%.
but they can't really dock DPS because then they all have a raise, don't you? All the casters have a raise, so you'd be homogenizing between a lot. And then at that point, you might as well just stick it in the roll action.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Why is raise so? You should just have.
Why is raise on casters? To be
Yeah,
fair,
actually, that is a really solid point. We've just hit on something that I have not thought about before. Why can't a ninja res? Why can't you know what I mean? Just have it so that you have a sacrifice of whatever resource pool you're doing, mana or whatever. Same
why
as
don't they? Why don't they just stick a res in all the roll actions and stick it on a 60-second timer cooldown?
oof,
Then you've got yeah, but here's the thing: if you've got 2 tanks, 4 DPS, that's 6 raises.
right. But then people who here's the thing that will combat that, okay? Me, I'd be fine with that. People who do like duo runs of Palace of the Dead or whatever would be angry at you because of resurrection limits and timers.
That's why you have that's Palace. You just bring it, just take a Phoenix down. There you go.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm
Or
just
just go in as one of you go as a healer.
well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying to you, no matter what you bring up, somebody will find a horrible negative in their opinion. They will strongly disagree with you. But it does feel like, in this game anyway, when I came from World of Warcraft originally, when I played the demo of Realm Reborn, I was like, the biggest surprise to me out of anything wasn't a GCD or anything. The biggest surprise to me was, wait, we can infinitely res as many times as we want per fight? That hit me hard because in WoW, on a fight, you had limitations. We like in our 10-man, we only had 2 reses.
Yeah.
And once you'd use that, everybody's res ability would be grayed out. Yeah, there were loads of people who could res, but you only had 2. So if someone resed accidentally, people would get very angry. Like the raid leader would go off on one because he's like, "Why did you res that person? We might need it if a healer died." Because 9 times out of 10, we do progress on a heroic boss, higher difficulty stuff, like in Throne of Thunder or whatever in Mists of Pandaria, and we'd be at a point where we'd be like. We'd have like 1 or 2 people dead by the time we'd kill the boss because we saved the reses for important people at the time, or for moments where we're like, okay, get a DPS up now. We need to push before the end rage, or it was, oh, we need a tank now. He just got 1 shot. You know, it could have just been the people I was hanging out with, but for the most part, it was very surprising to me when it came to FF and went, oh. Wait, so you're saying that you could die 50 times in a thing, and as long as I had mana, I could res you? And it's like, yep. It's like, well, that's interesting from so many perspectives. And honestly, I honestly thought the game was easier because of that. And that's what tricks you into thinking that this game is a little bit more. I don't want to say the word casual, more ease of access. And for the most part, it's actually opened my eyes to see, well, actually, you know, if we're going to have reses that frequent anyway, does it really matter who gives them? Does it really matter? You know, give the ninja it. I don't know.
I mean, the only bypass for that would be it'd make all the savage content much easier, wouldn't it? If anyone could res.
I guess, actually, yeah. That would mess up that component.
Like I said, if that's why if you stuck it on like a 60-second cooldown, then
Yeah.
keeps it intact because then.
Yeah, I mean that's why not everybody has a res is because of the components that
Yeah.
make up a raid. And
Well, I think I think the casters have a res purely as an way to make the thing slightly easier if the healers die. Because obviously, if the healers die and no one has a res, no one else has a res, then that's a wipe.
well, that's what frustrates me when we do content and I go in there. It's like, well, if we had a res, we could have beaten this. And I'm just looking. Oh, well, there's a black mage in the corner, and then there's like somebody playing paladin, samurai. I'm like, right, but everybody here has a red mage. Not one of you brought one or a summoner, and nobody has one. You know what?
My
I
yeah,
meant
but
like in general, not just with groups
yeah.
with you. I mean in groups that I go. I'm like, okay, so why isn't there a person who can res? Like, yeah, it's if you're gonna, I don't know. People have this stigma as well, where it's like, they hate red mages because the DPS is too low for them. But it's proven that every single job in the game has cleared all of the savage and ultimate content in this game.
Yeah, but in fairness, red mage just suck. So
What? Your opinions are weird. They should be locked up in concrete.
I despise red mage with a passion.
I love Red Mage because I think it's versatile. It has an answer to things that I need. It's good for progression. I don't have to deal with people saying, "Oh, well, nobody has a res. I guess we're dead then." You know, it makes it so that in content that I do, you know, extremes or whatever, where I want to just get through the stuff, you know, or savagery clears, it just makes sense to have a res just because someone somewhere is going to be a potato and die, or someone will put something on the healers and the healers will die, and then it's like, oops, sorry. It's like, yeah, you just wiped the raid because now you've got 6 people alive, but none of them can res. Like, that's genius, you know? That's what infuriates me. So every time I see a red mage or a summoner or whatever it might be, I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you for taking the sacrifice and realizing that, you know, your DPS might not be the best as everyone else's in the world, but at least you're making sure that this run, even if I die horribly and the other healer, for whatever reason, will continue. It just, I don't know. But you are right, though. If you're going for, like, min-maxing, then obviously you'd want, you know, the best of the best of the best, but nobody min-maxes enough to really make a difference anyway, unless you're in world first.
Oh no.
You know, our static, you know, if we min-max, then we'd need a lot more time to figure it out.
We'd need to actually have a full static.
This is true. Are we recruiting a tank then, or what?
Dano's back on July.
All right, well,
remind me to message him because I need to make sure he's not been.
What we'll do is we'll say if
extended.
anybody wants to be a reserve tank, right? If anybody would like to raid and be a reserve tank, no guaranteed spot at this time, we are open for reserve tank positions over on Ragnarok. If you play on Chaos Data Center, we'll definitely take you up on that.
Message me on Discord.
Yeah, Amelia Belladonna. Or James, isn't it?
In the community one, yeah.
Yeah. Just our Discord links below. You'll find it. If you want to raid, you want to raid on EU, you want to raid on Chaos, and you don't necessarily have to be on our FC or anything like that, or a link shell. Well, preferably a link shell. Otherwise, we have a
static. We have a static link shell.
We do a cross-world link shell. Then come and join us. We'll be raiding in Endwalker. We're not going to be doing that much until then. Although I did want to do a bit of a...
We're doing EAS since we have a full static.
Yeah, we want to go back in. There's some unfinished business with a certain Ice Queen. So I need to kick her ass. Especially, we were like... I timed it. We were 30 seconds away from a kill on our best attempt. Right, yeah. We only had to survive and do that extra little bit for another 30 seconds. Because I compared it to a run that I did go with other people, as you know. And that run was like a 1% wipe. But yeah. I was like, oh, so literally there's only 30 seconds more of a fight from where we wiped on that best attempt. And I was like, just hands in face, going, "We could have cleared a tier." Nah. So I need to kill Shiva. She's the unfinished business. Eden, I don't care. Like the recent stuff that came out, not interested. You know, I didn't get to do that tier. I have no interest in going back there. But we did the previous tier, and we worked.
We'll see how it goes.
We worked our balls off on that tier, and E8S is the final hurdle, and it's unfinished business. So I would like to get that done if possible in the summer, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, and then we'll see. We might do E9 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If we have time.
If we have time, yeah.
It depends how long it takes to clear ES when we get, and how long it takes for us to get full static.
So 2 months then.
2 weeks, apparently,
Right.
unless our main tank has his job extended.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you do want to potentially raid with us and you're on Chaos, give us a bell. Give us a bell. That's an old way of saying it, isn't it? Give us a message in Discord. Say, I'm interested. I'm a tank, and I did this before. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Just DM me.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But
yeah,
make your voice be heard. Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, back to Black Mage.
Back to Black Mage. I did ask you what your dream addition to Black Mage would be in Endwalker.
Oh, it's got to be Ultima, hasn't it?
You want Ultima, not Demi Ultima. Then you just want solid Ultima, like Gaius used.
Yeah, just replace Meteor, the LB3 with Ultima instead of Meteor, and then we could have Meteor as a actual.
When your job gauge is full and it just starts shaking, and you summon a Meteor. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, you're onto something there, because Yoshi said that he wanted Passage of Arms to be the standard for what he would like every job in the game to have something like Passage of Arms, something flashy. So yeah, the most iconic thing I could think of would be Meteor for a Black Mage in every single Final Fantasy game, or a flare, but mostly Meteor coming from the sky.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, White Mage, I have no idea. I have no idea. Probably permanent wings.
Yeah. Either that or or a
cool.
aura, or a massive white aura or something.
Just big angel wings that flap around. I don't know. I don't know what I want, really. Just something. But I'm looking forward to seeing.
I'm really intrigued what they do, because I'm not entirely sure how they're going to add to the Black Mage rotation without.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, they have something similar to Ruin 4, where you get an upgrade. Fire 1 upgrades to Fire 5, but refreshes Astral Fire under a certain condition. So you no longer have to use Fire 1 to refresh, and then have Fire 5.
Maybe they'll just rework Scathe and that'll be your button.
Yeah, doubt it. I think that might be what they'll do.
Yeah.
I think they might rework. They might give you a proc to turn Fire 1 into Fire 5, because Fire 1 you use to refresh your Astral Fire, because Fire 4 doesn't. So
are you thinking that it will be minor stuff rather than lots of new buttons?
We've got 3 to 4 new skills, but I think actual direct attack skills, possibly Fire 5 as a option. It's changed from Fire 1, and then possibly.
What about a new Thunder?
A
new rank of Thunder, maybe.
But the thing is, Thunder's the weird one, because Thunder 1's single target, Thunder 2's AoE, Thunder 3's single target, Thunder 4 is AoE.
So Thunder 5 would be single target.
Yeah, but then that's just a potency increase, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's all they do.
In the disguise of a new spell.
I imagine, there might be something there might be a Blizzard 5.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure that'll be on the top of your list.
I've no idea what that'll do.
What about Foul 2?
That's basically Zeno.
Yeah.
Xenogloss is just foul, just single target and more.
Make Scathe give you a polyglot.
Yeah, I suppose they could add something, but then that would just make thing. But then again, you don't really use polyglots that often.
Yeah, but make Scathe a massively useful ability with a long cooldown.
What's the point in that?
I don't know.
I think other than that, because
It's useless as it is.
I don't think Black Mage means much more in terms of movement abilities. I mean, we already have 4 instant casts. You can't give us any more.
So things you're dreading, a res. Right?
Pretty much, because that just basically means they're just going to nerf the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And that's the point of Black Mages, to do high DPS.
You see, if I had asked anyone else that I could bring onto Tea Time right now, any that play other jobs, any single other job would have so much more to say. And that's nothing against you. It's because Black Mage is actually very well wound up, isn't it? It's actually...
It flows really well. It's just complete, basically. As far as I mean, people say there's stuff that needs to be done because people want raises and stuff like that. But I mean, we've got pretty much everything I can think we'd need. I mean, Umbral Soul from Shadowbringers means we can keep at Enochian during downtime. I mean, you could change Ethereal Manipulation to the Blue Mage version, so we don't have to target a party member.
Oh, what's it called? Where you just put a reticle on the floor and talk to it. Yeah, I can't remember. My brain's gone. I completely forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
that would be interesting.
Because then that'd be like the same as the dash that Dancer has and stuff.
So it's like
that.
what abilities shall we give these new jobs, James? Oh, let's just recircle Blue Mage because it's crap.
Well, I mean, you could turn it more into like Dancer or something. You know, Dancer is there, but that little, can't remember what it's called now, dash or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
You could have Ethereal Manipulation. If you could have Ethereal Manipulation be like that and give that charges and stuff like that. Rather than having to target a party member, because obviously every time we're in a static, it's you I target, and I'm like, you need to stand here.
Well, that's what I want for Warrior. I want the ability to like leap towards a reticle rather than an enemy. Yeah. That would make me just wet in the downstairs underwear department, because every other game that I've played that has a Warrior pretty much has a reticle targeted leap. And it is so much fun, like including WoW, etc. You just want to leap towards something and smash your axe in their face. But you don't want to be like charging all the time. Oh, it's behind this target. I can't, like, you can't target this. I can't get to that. It's on a slightly different elevation. What a step. You know, a 2-inch step above the terrain. Thanks for that.
Or you're not in line of sight because you're slightly over a hill.
No, it's usually line of sight because there's a slight like twig in the way or something. In dungeons, I've noticed it's like really, really, guys. But that would make me wet in the pants for Warrior, having the ability to just jump to somewhere. In terms of gap closers, I think that's something I would like to see on a lot of others as well, rather than an enemy-targeted one. I can understand why the enemy-targeted ones exist, but sometimes it would be nice to have the ability to use it as a utility rather than just an offensive ability. That way you could rework a lot of the charges and intervenes and whatever you want to call them, the gap closers, to be more useful. Considering we have Dancer with a backdrop, we have Bard with a backdrop, etc. It would be nice to see something like, I don't know, let's give Samurai the ability to charge a point, because all of the enemies can do that in every fight we see them. A Samurai enemy will charge.
Samurai can jump backwards.
Right, but they've also got their charge thingy, right? If I remember.
Charge thingy.
Isn't there an attack that charges an enemy?
Yeah, they have a gap closer, and then they also have one that goes out.
Oh, yeah.
Only problem with Samurai is the gap closer uses Kenki.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. But...
I think that honestly there needs to be more radical jumps like that, like the ability to use something not necessarily just for offense, but also for, oh god,
Yeah.
I need to get out of here. Especially when we have a game filled to the brim with projectiles that just overlap in a rotating thing. Like any of those skirmishes in Boston Southern Front, especially that giant, like, what is it, big airship thingy that rotates and it fires missiles and they land in a big rotating circle. Man, I wish we all had like jump abilities and stuff like that, or the ones that look like they should have jump abilities actually having them, because I've been caught in so many of those accidentally because I wanted to try and fit in some extra DPS in melee range, but oh, never mind. That's why I don't play melee in Bosnia, because it's just, do I want to die? I will tick the no box today. But yeah. For White Mage, though, I really have no idea what I would like to see added to it. It's got the Black Mage syndrome, as in all of the buttons do exactly what I want them to do. It's a powerhouse. We have the right shields for the right situations. We have the right potency on abilities. Maybe
You could have more of a damage rotation.
Yeah, I would say the one thing I would change or completely just rework is Asylum. I think Asylum is complete crap. It just really doesn't do as much as you think it does. It doesn't do. It just needs to be reworked. It doesn't really show up enough on any kind of meaningful sort of.
Add a damage reduction to it or something.
Well, everybody, when they see a big shield, the first thing you think is, oh, a big shield that will shield me and I will get hit for less. But it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, because Scholar and Astro both have big bubbles that do damage reduction, don't they?
I know there's the whole idea of pure healer versus shield barrier healer in the future as well, and they're accentuating on that. But it just feels like, don't give us Asylum then. It literally is the one button that half of the time I forget to use. Honestly, if I'm honest with you, I'm just like, oh, I guess I could have used that, but meh. It didn't really add that much. People didn't die, and it wouldn't have added anything else. I would have missed out on deals.
I mean, in a lot of content as well, you're not really grouped up that much.
Yeah. So I often just use everything that's like, my lilies are my babies. I'd like to see more stuff to do with lilies, maybe.
Yeah. And charges on a size.
Oh, yes. That would be pretty good. That would be pretty. Actually, get rid of Asylum and give us 3 charges of a size per like, I don't know, minute or something.
Yeah, and then increase the cooldown back up to 60 from like 45 seconds.
Yeah, so have a 60-minute, wow, 60-second cooldown, and then give us 3 charges, and then remove a size from our bars. I'd be happy with that. Temperance is great. Maybe increase the range of it a bit. That would be nice, because sometimes you just don't. One of the biggest things I want to see added to the game in terms of game mechanics is when you use a limit break 3 res with a healer, can we not have it so that one person's out of range? If they're in the room, can they be rezzed, please? Like the fact that I've got to run into the middle of the room because Joe over there decided to die in like the far north.
Yeah, because it's 30 yarns, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that should apply for external things, but inside of a duty, that should be anyone within instance area, because they're all just circle rooms anyway. We don't have trash fights in trials or like 8-mans. We just have a boss. So for 8-man fights, it should be just a little buff comes on, says, oh, look, now people will actually be able to be rezzed by your limit break when you actually need it.
I imagine they implemented it differently because of things like Titan. When you couldn't be rezzed afterwards, it would probably cause some proper. Although they've changed that, haven't they?
Yeah, I thought they'd changed that.
Not in the original one in Unreal. No, I mean originally they haven't changed the limit break in years, have they?
No.
So I imagine originally they had the area effect due to that, because if it tried to res someone who can't be rezzed, it'd probably spaz out or something.
Yeah, but there are other occasions of that as well, where
I mean, literally, they could just click a button and make it 50. That'd cover any arena anyway.
Pretty much. Like, it just seems so...
Because the tank limit break is 50 arms.
Yeah. So they could
That's
basically
weird.
increase it to the same rate as that.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't break
Yeah.
anything, in theory. I mean, I don't know. It just annoys me when little Joe over there is stood in the north and everyone else died somewhere convenient. And I'm like, really? Now I've got to res you separately? And they're always the most vocal. I'm using Joe as just a random person. They're always the most vocal in the group.
If your name is Joe, don't get offended.
You should have ran into the centre of the room and pressed it. Huh, you shouldn't have died in the north then, should you? That's what I'm thinking in my head, but we don't type these things. Oh, dear. Like, oh, yeah, nice. Good, nice work.
So basically our static voice chat.
Yes, literally. We all love each other. I'm sure we do, but my God, sometimes, James. Why is James dead? Why can't I res him? Oh, he's like that way on the moon already. Oh, okay, that sounds about right.
It's
Dear.
called you didn't adjust enough and I was pre-positioning.
I adjust enough as it is. You already have macros that like do everything to me. I deliberately go out of mechanics into a safe area between things to make it convenient for you to drop your ley lines after ethereal manipulation, so that you don't have to deal with moving or walking. So it's brilliant, isn't it? You could shut up. Oh dear. Oh, not every white mage or healer would do that. Jeez. They'd just tell you to go jump off a cliff or something. Like, do one. Dear God. But, I mean, I don't want to really talk about the 5.5 storyline, but can I just ask your opinion on one thing?
Yeah.
The final thing. I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but I guess it is. Put your fingers in your ears if you're listening. Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler territory. Okay. The expressionless faces when they look at the moon when it glows. What? It doesn't make sense. Like, oh yeah, the moon's glowing. You know, there was no by the 12 or anything. It just felt really weird.
Yeah. But then again, yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff about 5.55.
The storyline wrapped up, I think, okay. It was fine, but it was clear to see that maybe that probably...
They really pushed Alpha Nose relationships far too hard, I think.
Yeah. It was surprising.
Well, obviously that's to push him to change to Sage, isn't it? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's to push the limits of that and to turn him away from that path and put him on a new one. And the getting rid of the Levier name, etc.
Yeah.
And that's to make us think twice about Sharlayan and if they're up to something, or, you know, if they're hiding something, and which they clearly are because of all of the other content they showed at FanFest had Sharlayan architecture. And guess what? The architecture on the moon was looking very Sharlayan. Or at least very spiral, which people have looked at.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sharlayan have already been to the moon.
I think they have, being the studious people they are. But I also think that the Ancients and the Sharlayans are kind of the same thing. I think the Sharlayan thingy, the whole Sharlayan, is a spin-off from that kind of research, basically, that Emmett Self and the rest of them were doing.
You basically think they've come to the same conclusion as the Ancients?
Yes. After
doing all the research.
Especially with all those concealed tomes, you know, and the forbidden research. And you even see, it's not like one of the dungeons that we were shown at the Fan Fest. They showed a bit of aerial footage and, pictures rather, not footage. It looked like footage. Or was it footage? It might have been footage. I can't remember. Do you remember when it was like this tower and then there was 4 different areas that were being created, and they looked like Pyros, they looked like Pagos, etc.
Yeah.
Literally identical to the Eureka project. So it's kind of like they're continuing with that research to do with the elements, you know, and then you've got the whole idea of ASEAN connection, and the architecture's pretty much mimicking the ancients. It's like,
so you basically think they researched Heidelin and Zodiac, came to the same conclusion
yeah,
that Zodiac, the worlds must be rejoined, sort of thing.
yeah.
Well, Zodiac must be freed or whatever.
It's an inevitability in their eyes that cannot be averted apart from extreme suffering. And obviously, if you listen to the stuff that they say in that trailer as well, it's kind of like they're not even going to remotely lift a finger to help, because it's the course of things to come. They don't involve themselves. It's not that they don't involve themselves because it doesn't concern them and they don't care. It's the fact that they already know what's going to happen, and they actually want this to happen because it's the inevitability of that situation. Maybe there's something in it for them, maybe, that they've researched into that doesn't benefit the whole world.
They probably want to free Zodiac so they can research Zodiac, to be fair.
Either that, or to be one again, as soon as they realize maybe that there are multiple shard versions of the same people, which is very similar if we look at Shadowbringers and go, oh, well, Ardbert and, and us, and then there was this person, and then there's that person. They got their own scions, basically. And if you look at it, the places were similar. They're basically just shattered, different shard versions of ourselves. It's not a mirror. Yeah. It's like another dimension version each time.
Yeah.
And the rejoining puts all of those bits back together. So if you think of it from a philosophical way and like a theologian way, it would be reuniting the soul into one, right? The rejoining would rejoin everybody into their true form, as in an ASEAN form or an ancient form or whatever the ancient people, right? They would become whole again. So maybe they've realized that, oh, well, maybe we as a culture don't mind this rejoining, because it would allow us to attain higher enlightenment than our current form. That's what I'm thinking.
Probably, yeah.
Because there's nothing enlightened about a mortal, right? But if you were like, oh, well, I'd gain the memories and abilities to, the intellect of, 12 other versions of myself back into one, that's not something they're going to skip on. It's not something they'll instantly choose, but they've had a lot of time, presumably, to think about this, and they've done lots of experiments with things, and probably they've come to that conclusion that there needs to be a rejoining for them to reach their full potential, because there's very little else that they can do in the mortal form. You see that in a lot of science fiction, where especially like Star Trek or whatever, right? Or any good sci-fi book, it's like you reach a certain point in a mortal form where you need to transcend. You ascend beyond that to then reach places you could only ever have dreamt of before, not only physically but mentally.
Beyond mortal limits.
Exactly, right? So it'd be that, an actual physical form of, becoming like a gaseous entity or an artificial intelligence, or in this particular method, an all-powerful, godlike creature capable of doing anything, would really allow them to test the very limits of the fabric of existence, wouldn't it?
Are we expecting basically the sound that caused the fall of Amarot to come back then after?
Possibly, yeah. That's what I'm thinking, is that maybe this whole thing was staged to put, Sharlayans are actually on the same terms. Maybe not directly like, oh yeah, we're best buddies with the ASEANs or whatever. I don't think it's that. I think they've come to the same conclusion from a different angle,
and decided just to let the ASEANs do whatever they do.
Yeah, but they'll have a trump card, right? That's what I think they'll have. They'll have if the ASEAN decides to mess with us, then we'll have something to repel them or something. They're not going to just let themselves wither and die. Yes, they're there to witness and not act, but that doesn't necessarily mean for them. They just said for the entirety of Eorzea and Heidelin as a planet, right? things that
Yeah.
happen on planet Hydelin, which is awkward when you try to say Hydelin and Hydelin,
The source.
the source, right? Anything that happens on the source is no concern to them unless it basically affects their studies directly.
Yeah.
So unless an Asian, unless Fan Daniel went to Sharlayan and blew up their library, I don't think they're really gonna care. You know, all right, it's fine. Do what you want because this works towards an inevitability
yeah.
anyway, right?
Yeah, you wiped out yours. Well, nothing to do with us.
That doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be people in Sharlayan that won't revolt against the idea. There will definitely be a resistance style thing. I mean, Louis Soir, for example, was a great proponent of rejecting those teachings. He's seen as a martyr and a great person in Eorzea, but I believe in Sharlayan he's more of an idiot. More of
an outcast, isn't he?
an exile, you know?
Yeah.
And you can tell with what's his name, Falchino. Is it Falchino? That's how you pronounce it. Falchino, which is Alasei and Alphino's father.
Yeah.
It seems like he's gone through some stuff. He knows that his own father is basically in exile. He is not about to let his children be anything related to him if they're going the same way as Louis Soir. So that's why he did what he did, and he's devout to his, sticking to his guns. But maybe there is a breaking point with that character where we see some humility. I find it hard to believe that he's chaotic evil. I think he's more been shown these documents, these tomes that Graha tear in that cutscene with the trailer. He's locked away, looking at locked, sealed tomes, going, interesting. There's still more secrets, blah blah blah. Right? This guy, Fortuno's already seen all this stuff. He's been shown this. He knows the inevitability, but maybe he's bought into it too much. He doesn't think that anybody can really combat any of this, truly. Not even the Warrior of Light or whatever we are. Because I think Sharlayan knows that we are an Ascian. I think that's what it comes down to. It's not that, we give up all hope and we're just going to record what happens for our own benefit and hope for the best and see what happens and watch for the rejoining for our own enlightenment. But it's less of we can't put our faith into the Warrior of Light. It's more of, why would you put a faith into an enemy? Because at the end of the day, we are supposedly a member of a convocation of 14, right?
We are, yes.
As them.
Well, we were.
Yeah, so a part of us. So basically, it's not in their interest to even remotely help us. At all.
Yeah.
Us meddling there is as bad as Fan Daniel going there.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it will be seen as. And anyone who sympathizes with us is instantly, a traitor or whatever, right? Which is... It's going to be a very bloody and very surprising, twisty-turny expansion, I think. And I think this has led up many questions. But I would agree, if you agree with me, that that end cutscene when a moon suddenly glows with no explanation, they look at it and they don't even flinch. Like, it's a bit crap. Like, I would have expected 7 hells or by the 12 or, like Y'shtola to raise an eyebrow or something. But it was just like, yep, moon's glowing. Better go get some food, guys. And then you talk to Tartaru and it's just like, is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
But don't get in. People watching this will go, he says, is that it? No, don't get me wrong. I thought that it was a good storyline patch. It paved the way.
I enjoyed the story.
But there is never enough that will sate my thirst. Right? That's what you have to understand about me, is that I'm thirsty for that storyline. I want to see what happens next. And when they do stuff like that and they don't even have an expression, it's like, right? So it's a glowing moon. So you're telling me I'm going to have to wait 5 months for Y'shtola to react to the moon?
Yes.
Meanwhile, they're going to have a look at some towers.
Meanwhile, here's Alwyn Revolt in a wheelchair.
That was a good scene, actually. I like that scene, personally. I thought it was kind of cool. I wondered what they were going to use the wheelchair for, honestly. People had told me people who date mine were telling me that there was a wheelchair in the files. I was like, huh? People were like speculating if we were going to get like a wheelchair job. I was like, no, definitely not.
What the hell's a wheelchair job?
I don't know. I'm not even going to go into it. It's a cool idea though. Customization of your character include all sorts of, I was going to say walks of life, all different backgrounds of people. It would be nice to have some representation of that for sure. So maybe in the future we would get a wheelchair for a character if we so desire to. I'd be up for that. That'd be amazing. But yeah, it was quite funny to see people being like spreading information about this, and I'm like, okay. And it turned out to be a really touching story with Arenveld, which was fantastic. But
Oh, yeah, I didn't give a crap about that.
you don't, I do. I like that character.
Mostly because I think he's a complete idiot.
Oh, he is an idiot. Yeah, by
Oh yeah, he also killed thousands and thousands of people. What?
Yeah, I mean, for Dola, she's everything I want her to be. Is she's slowly getting there, but she needs a push. This resonant storyline is driving me insane, James. We still haven't got an answer to the resonant storyline, but she's a resonant from thingy,
Right.
and Kryl was basically used as a template thing. It was never added up from Stormblood. It's driving me insane. So I'm hoping Endwalker.
As far as I'm aware, Fordola was a experiment to test for Zenos, right?
Right. Yeah. It was.
But here's the problem: if Zenos is part Asian, why did he need to become a resonant?
I don't know. Make his more palatable. I don't know. Maybe some. I don't know. I have no idea.
That's just a plot hole. I just thought, I was like, wait, so why would he need it if he already had it?
I don't know.
What?
The next time we kill him, he better stay dead. Is all I'm gonna say.
Oh, for the love of God!
I know there's a lot of people who love Zenos, but I am done with him already.
I mean, what is he on now? He must be secretly a cat, right?
It's secretly Makote. He just combs his hair over it. Yeah, because he's on his like 6th life or something.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I don't know.
The
whole resonant thing. There's so many loopholes. I want them to sort of answer.
And then if we could just walk on and punch Van Daniel in the face a few times.
Is that hatred born off of Van Daniel or just for Asahi? Because
Van Daniel's a terrible villain.
A terrible villain? Oh, he did kind of mess up everything on that in the storyline.
He's a terrible villain, and he's very bland, and he's literally just your generic. I want to destroy everyone.
He's a worse villain than like Roman Torchwick.
Roman Torchwick was a cool villain.
He was. Ruby should have never ended his existence. I would have liked to see more of him.
He lasted 2 volumes more than he was meant to.
This is true. Yeah. But I honestly think that Van Daniel has a lot. I honestly think Zenos is just going to get to the point where he just stabs him and kills him somehow or defeats him. Like, I don't need you anymore. He'll have risen above there, and he'll be like... Because I know for a fact they wanted Zenos to be the new Kefka, like the Kefka of 14. I know there was comparisons drawn by the dev team and Yoshi P and the writing team. They were like, we want to have our villain like we have Kefka in other games. It's like, that's cool, but this is getting a bit much. You don't have to keep killing and bringing these people back. We had a problem.
You mean like Y'shtola?
All right, you leave Y'shtola out of this.
Dude, she should be dead.
No, she needs...
multiple times. Dude, she's been scattered in a live stream twice and stabbed by Zenos.
Let her retire then. I don't want her to die.
I mean, seriously, she's the most reckless person in the world.
Yes, but she's badass.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, how about we have a continuation of a story at least where we get told that using her eyes to see ether is draining her life force? How come we've never heard anything about that since Montoya said it like 4 years ago? Oh
yeah, that was an actual thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, how come there's nothing to do with that now?
Because of plot armor, ultimately.
Yeah. How about we just kill her off and have done with it?
No, you stay away with that murderous intent. Can we get rid of Alice instead?
How about we just get rid of all of them?
Alice, yeah, a bit of
Alice, Y'shtola.
Last time I said like Alice should be the one that text to 4 or somebody in a comment section. I've quite a few people rightfully were like, "How dare you? She is the best character." I'm like, well...
But, you know, we'll just lop an arm off Thancred or something. Because apparently every expansion he seems to get hurt and have something wrong with him.
I have one request for Endwalker. Can we get another version of Halatali? And can it have Raban in there somewhere again?
Halitalia Extreme.
That's the meme, isn't it? We love seeing Raban. Maybe you can lose the leg this time, or I don't know, like. But I just want him to have like a bionic arm, a bionic leg. I want him to be like cyborg Raban by the end of, Final Fantasy. Because he's such a cool character, and I love his voice actor that they're managing to keep on now, which is nice. We're not changing his voice anytime soon, thankfully. But like, there was that whole point during Heavensward and etc. that was just like, really, Raban again? Really, more Halatali? Oh, what have you done this time? But
I mean, what are we on now? Like, it's got to be 6 or 7 times we've had to go through that.
For story reasons and side story reasons, yeah. It's ridiculous. I think you're not exaggerating too much. Probably like 5 or something, but it's. Well, no,
you also got to remember the instance duties. We have to go in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I want to see Halatali get destroyed by like some meteor or something. Oh, I guess we've got no Halatali anymore. And then Raban just goes, well, actually,
we're rebuilding it better, stronger.
Secretly, there was another Halatali under that Halatali. I'm like, damn it, Raban! No.
It turns out that was just a decoy Halatali. The real Halatali is over here. You must go run this now 6 times.
Oh no. New relic weapon in 6.0. Run Halatali 155 times.
Each time is slightly different.
Well, it's Palace of the Dead, basically, but Halatali. Yeah. Palace of Halatali. Oh dear.
Halatali of the Dead.
What? Yeah, it will be after I'm done with it. What if we created a monster? Right, well, there we go. There was an hour and a half or something like that of tea time rambling. Hopefully people enjoy this format. I really enjoy doing it, and I enjoy hanging out with James as usual. But again, our opinions are our own opinions, and you shouldn't get too offended by them. Take everything with a pinch of salt. Have a laugh with us.
Everything in this video is not inclusive of Meoni Incorporated.
Yeah, let's go with that. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you're most looking for either pruning on your job in the expansion Endwalker, or what you would like to see added. And if you think James is wrong about utility and that you want a res on the Black Mage, make sure that you at James and go, actually,
and then never play Black Mage again.
And then actually, James, I think that it would actually bridge the gap. Actually, there was one comment that was just actually every next sentence. It was like 7 paragraphs long. But anyway, we do value the comments. We like to see critical analysis of a game that we love. That's what it's all about. It's not a perfect game in any stretch of anyone's imagination, hopefully, but it's certainly one that we can improve together with feedback and general word of mouth and positivity. But anyway, much love to everyone. Anybody you want to shout out, James? Do you want to shout out your future desk?
My future desk?
Well, he's not playing. He's set up right now. He's like on a coffee table. You're building a desk, aren't you?
Technically, it's a coffee table and 3 bedside tables.
Yeah, so you're balancing 3 monitors?
2 monitors.
2 monitors.
One on a coffee table, one on a bedside table, and remember, PCs on 2 bedside tables.
Yeah, you need to go and build your desk.
It's near. I've just got RGB and stuff to do.
Of course, everything has to glow in the dark. Yeah. Of course it does.
Obviously, yeah.
Dear God.
Then RGB gives you extra FPS.
That sounds like a quote we could take to Corsair or something and get some money. We should probably do that at some point. Oh dear. Right, anyway, thank you so much for watching wherever you are in the world. Hopefully you're having a good day or night or whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a good one. Stay safe. And we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bear in mind also 5 days a week, twitch.tv/Meoni.
And join the
streams.
Discord.
And join the Discord. And if you're a tank on Ragnarok or Chaos Data Center, send us a message on Discord. Yes, because we might need your employable services. Look at you blowing. Who are you blowing? There we go.
I'm not blowing anyone.
And on that note, see you all later. Oh, the heat's getting to me, I think. Jeez.